Good morning, everybody. Got everything fueled up yesterday evening. I was watching a Will Kelly video, and I've watched Will since he started making YouTube videos after he was on the turnaround show for that Mike Andes does, like top 7 mistakes or something like that. And he talked about guys going out and starting out buying the biggest, baddest equipment and needing Skag, Exmark. He named off all the big brands and getting a 48, 52-inch mower. He said, go out there, start with a residential mower, which, yes, if you have a residential zero turn or a residential mower, push mower, and you're starting with push mowing and you only plan to push mow, yes, that is valid. However, I did just rent a unit, and I will say, if at all possible, do not rent, especially in my area, because they tried to tell me it's going to be $275 a day for a 52-inch zero turn. Now, I didn't look at how much renting a push mower was a day. I'm going to assume it's in between $50 to $100. Now, can you make money by renting a unit? Yes, but that was a very bad piece of advice in my opinion. Now, yes, start with what you have, but that point he made, the biggest mistakes, buying a mower. Here's my thing is, if I'm going to go out and do this, and in my area I cannot do push mowing only. I mean, I guess I could after I build up some route density and only do the cookie cutter subdivisions. But like I said, my area is full of a lot of in between half an acre to an acre properties. Now, there are a lot of subdivisions that I do plan on getting into over time, and building that route density and putting outdoor hangers and all that good stuff, doing my 5-10 rounds. However, I do want to make this point that it's very location dependent. If you live in the middle of Chicago and the yards are literally this big, maybe 10 feet long by 4 foot wide or less, yeah, you can probably get away with a push mower only business. Even in Lexington here, there are a lot of cookie cutter yards, but there are also a lot of big yards in Lexington once you get to the side that has more horse farms than anything. He does give good advice, awesome. However, he said in your first year, the minimum you should shoot for is $60 an hour. And I challenge that because my first year, I'm now up to 31 accounts. In my first year, I'm averaging $124 an hour solo. If by the time I calculate the hours that I work, now those are all billable hours. I did not do the unbillable. If I do unbillable, it's probably more in between 80 to 90. I need to do that calculus and find that out for you guys. But 60 to me just sounds way too low, especially starting out. And that just sounds like you're trying to get volume over quality clients that'll last with you through the whole season and beyond, and you can build a relationship with and actually take the money and reinvest into marketing, all that good stuff. But back to the point of renting a unit, I don't think that's smart. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but if at all possible, if it were me and I was doing a push mower only business and I didn't want to fork out $500 to $1,500, I'll just say this: if you don't have $1,500 to start a business and you don't already have a mower to start with, go get a job. Don't increase your lifestyle. Put money back until you have at least $3,000 to $5,000 set back to start a business, okay? If you don't have $3,000 to $5,000 saved, or you can't save money, well, you're already setting yourself up for failure from the very beginning. Yes, if you have to borrow somebody's stuff to get started, do that. But saying go out here and rent a mower for a daily cost that, if you're pricing $60 an hour, golly, I mean, you're going to be doing so many yards to make up that overhead right out of the beginning, not even talking about gas and all the other expenses. And if they're not using Yardbook and they're using a CRM that costs money, well, that's an extra expense. You see, that's why that model wouldn't work out on the lawn care side. And again, it might differ per area, but a zero-turn mower, I was told now going forward is going to be $200 a day. I mean, you're just throwing all your money at renting a mower. That's just crazy to me. Whereas if you got decent credit and you really are wanting to put some skin in the game, you leverage debt, get a 0% interest loan on a brand new zero-turn mower that has a warranty, My payment is 0% interest, $217 a month. But I knew going into it, and I paid 2 months without having any clients because I bought it in January and we didn't start till April this year. I mean, I'm not going to fail. I'm the type that won't give up, and I'm just going to keep going until it works. You see what I'm saying? And in a smart way, you know, pivoting along the way. But for $217 at 0% interest, leveraged debt in an asset that will make you money and make you efficient right out of the gate and look better and more so than a residential mower, you know, why would you not do that? That I see that as like, you either have the money to invest cash, which is dumb in my opinion. You need to keep the cash in your bank account and finance the mower at 0% interest or very low interest, because you're leveraging that debt on an asset, whereas it's different from going and swiping your credit card, buying Gucci or some clothes, or you know, it's different from buying car stuff and all that bull crap. Leveraging debt against assets is how the rich get richer and how the rich got rich. You know, they have debt to get assets unless you're Dave Ramsey and you just have zero debt and you've sold products and took all that money and bought buildings and real estate again after you crashed buying over leveraging real estate. Now he sells courses, books, products that help people go the debt-free way, whatever. You know, in my personal life, I don't like debt. I don't like consumer debt. In my business life, I want all the debt. I want it all. That's just me. So I want to make that point. I watched that video before I parked the truck yesterday, and I just wanted to talk about it and share my thoughts on that point he made, that guys starting lawn care businesses make mistakes. Don't go out here and rent, guys. I mean, you're throwing your money away. Just like, I just can't imagine renting a car every day to go to work to make money and then returning the car to Enterprise at the end of the week. You know, in the short term, maybe, but when you're starting out and have no accounts, don't go out and rent a unit, okay? Start with what you have if you can. If you can't, go get a job. Go get a job, preferably working for a lawn care company or working for a landscape company, because you're going to be going into that yourself. Save all that money. Don't raise your lifestyle. Get comfortable, but do that. Save $5,000 and then go out. Ideally, leverage money or just buy something under that $5,000 budget that you've been able to save. You see, and during that time, you'll be able to learn how to properly do stuff if you haven't been mowing before. I seen that point and I was like, I don't agree with that, and I thought I mentioned this morning. So I'm gonna head the rest of the way in. Let's get after it.